Benson Jr. Show at 1 p.m. The D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show at 2 p.m. A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nee Quarterlife Forte at 4 p.m. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way.
Tune in weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the talk of the town. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Live Nation gave me in to do my Dougie on you. Keep your comments to yourself. I made this for the bros. I start writing once it drop. I ain't even let it load. You take Hit Boy, you take Smiley, you at me and you got gold. Really do this for real, boy. Don't ask me what I sold. I'm like way to KP. They hit me to break the code. Every time I hear a beat, I hit 7 on the dice. Wanna do a song with me? Why you playing with your life? Flow water, but it's room temp. I ain't got no ice. Made 100 proud to pay. I ain't even set no price. I wake up and live my life. Smoke my weed and make some hits. Sell out everywhere I go. Can give a about your list. Know the voice.
I was saying to LaRussell just a moment ago when he walked in the studio that I've been blessed over the course of my career to push a few people out, from Kanye West to others that I could list. But I met them early on before they blew up and everybody knew who they were, and had them on my radio or TV platforms, and I remain friends with so many of these artists even all these years later. And I said to him, it feels like one of those moments. Not that I'm the first to. I don't ever take credit. I'm not trying to suggest I've discovered LaRussell. He's out there. My point is, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, you're about to find out.
Yeah.
But it feels like, and Miles and I were talking earlier, my board, we were talking earlier about this, about that Nipsey Hussle moment back in the day, where those who knew.
Yeah.
And those who didn't know eventually caught up and eventually found out. So I say all that to say I am honored to have you in my space for the first time, but I know this ain't going to be the last time.
Yeah.
So it's good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in.
Man, I'm honored to be here.
The pleasure is all mine. Trust and believe. Let me just start by asking you to tell me about growing up in Vallejo. I am always fascinated by people's backstories. And my thing is that you can't really appreciate the gift until you understand the context. Mm-hmm. And so I'm always fascinated by the backstory. So tell me about growing up in Vallejo.
Traditional. Yeah. For most of us that grow up in these areas. Mm-hmm. Vallejo is like a heartbeat of the Bay Area, mm-hmm. but kind of looked over. You know, when you talk about Bay Area, most people go straight to San Francisco.
That's right.
Oakland
yeah,
because of the history. But mm-hmm. Vallejo has contributed so much history and culture to the movement. The way that we talk, the way that we dance, the way we walk. E40 and Mac Dre mm-hmm. are from Vallejo. And you know, if you come to the Bay, you know, you understand the energy. So Vallejo really just cultivated that energy. I was in a melting pot, and also with us being like isolated from the rest of the Bay, we really got our own like sauce. Yeah. You know, but it's also a really, really like neglected place in terms of like infrastructure. So just growing up, I never thought of success or like being in entertainment mm-hmm. or any of that. I never envisioned any of that because you don't see any of that around you. None of that exists.
What were your dreams then?
I honestly don't remember having many.
Wow.
You know, wow. Me and my mom talk about that often. You know, mm-hmm. I didn't really grow up. I just didn't really think that far ahead or think mm-hmm. it was a possibility. You know, I thought everything was kind of figmentative of my imagination, but I never looked that deep into the real world. Like it didn't click for me of like, oh, I'm in control of my life and I could dictate what this life will be through my own actions until later. Yeah.
When you mentioned Vallejo creating its own kind of sauce, kind of isolated and separated from San Francisco and from Oakland, and I've known E40 for years. Love that Negro. Love 40. I wonder whether or not that puts a sort of, how might I put this? Does that put LaRussell sort of chip on your shoulder, or am I putting too much on it?
I think it does create a chip.
Yeah.
Especially when like you finally make it. Because if you made it from Vallejo, you made it on your own. You know, you didn't have assistants, you didn't have a label, you didn't have none of the infrastructure that you could get in, say, a New York or LA or you know, we don't have major labels. Like we now have a big record label, which is independent. You feel me? So there's no major infrastructure. So it does add a chip because you kind of you feel overlooked your entire journey. It almost feels like you can't get out of there through music or through arts.
Yeah. We'll come to the independent part. Trust me, we're going to spend a good time in this hour talking about independence. I'm glad to have you in the studio. So we'll talk about that independent work and those labels in just a second here. I am always fascinated, and this is true of anybody in any particular industry. One could ask me the same kind of question. What made you think that you could make it in the world of media as a talk show host on TV and radio, given how many other people have done it so well long before I ever showed up, right? But in hip-hop, it's fascinating for me because everybody in this game has to find his or her own voice.
Yeah.
We all start out, if we're being honest, and I'm prepared to do that, we all start out copying somebody.
Of course.
But the world is full of too many copies and not enough originals.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to be original. You got to find your own voice. So give me a sense of what you were listening to and what you were copying before you found your own voice. And we'll talk about the journey to do that. But give me a sense of what was in your head before you discovered LaRussell's voice.
Man, everything. I think you find originality by being the best copycat you could be.
Say that again.
You find your originality by being the best copycat you could be.
He's dropping bars already. Go ahead.
I took the best of Kanye and the best of Nip and the best of Pac and the best of DMX and the best of Hove and the best of 40. I'm a gumbo.
Yeah.
You know, it's some of everything up in there. Give it a stir, and now you got something new.
Yeah. And then at some point, you have to find, as we said earlier, your own voice. When we come forward, we'll talk about that part. So we know who he was emulating, and I love that line. You find your own originality by being the best copycat you can be. I'm going to steal that one, LaRussell.
Yeah, you hear me?
I'm going to steal that one.
Come on.
All right.
You ain't even got to steal it. I'll give it to you.
I'll take it then. I will take it. It's LaRussell on Tavis, Smiley. More when we come forward.
On blues, all different hues. You crank that until it move. Fact, on fact, this real rap slaps. Boom, boom, not boom, bap.
From Lamert Park with love. This is Tavis Smiley.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOTOR for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOTOR for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOTOR.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Oh, this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
This is a story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Freedom is an endless meaning, so let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
I put you on a finer things. Hey, how they treat you when you're tired on job? How they treat you when you're not on top? I show you the finer things. How they treat you when you're tired on job? How they treat you when you're not on top?
His name is LaRussell, and if you didn't know, now you know. Well, you will know by the time I end this conversation in 47 minutes from now. But I am honored to have him in this studio. As I said earlier, his first, not the last. But his is a name you're going to be hearing for years to come. And just delighted to have him from Vallejo. Can anything good come out of Vallejo? Apparently, yes. Because 40 and LaRussell and others have come out of Vallejo, and he's doing his thing. I always love giving the DJ some love. And so since I heard you, he can't through that glass. You were giving Miles some love.
Come on, Miles. You got it going on. Yeah.
It's always nice when an artist comes in studio and they can appreciate the DJ.
Come on.
So Miles is both DJing and board hopping today, but he does that every day. So love for my boy Miles Lowe, who does this every single day. So we were talking a moment ago, actually during the break, I was saying to LaRussell, he started making a point. I said, stop. I've said many times that sometimes the best of any radio show is in the breaks. And Negroes start talking, and it gets rich, and it gets good. You say, hold up, because I can't reprise that on the air better than you doing it in real time. So I said, hold up, stop. Let's just don't say nothing. Let's get back on the air. You were making a powerful point using Kobe as an example, and I'll let him explain that. But I'd asked LaRussell moments ago, in case you've just tuned in, about finding his own voice. Every one of us, if we're honest, if we're transparent, are copying somebody until we find our own voice. And then this Negro says to me that the better copycat you are, the easier and the better you're going to find your way into your own originality. But then you started giving this example off air about Kobe Bryant. Pick up the point.
Yeah, I was saying how, like, Kobe tried to do everything like Jordan. But there's just a point you realize that since I'm not Jordan, I can't do what Jordan do. Mm-hmm. So even if I try to do the exact same dunk, the exact same spin, I'm not him. So it's going to come out in a Kobe form. And now there's a reason when people shoot a ball into a trash can, they say Kobe, you know. But Kobe was saying Jordan.
Yeah.
you feel me? But we saying Kobe.
Yeah.
Because that was the iteration that we seen of that.
Yeah. And years from now, they'll be saying, LaRussell.
You hear me?
LaRussell. They'll be saying that years from now.
Yeah.
So tell me then about the journey. And I know this is sort of an amorphous question, but take it where you want to take it. Tell me more about the journey to finding your voice.
The journey of finding my voice really came through finding myself. Prior, I was trying to be all of my favorites because I didn't have the pride to stand firm in who I was. So I was trying to find identity through everyone I grew up listening to or experiencing. It was like, oh, well, I like him because he's like this and I like that. So let me try to, and through that, eventually you get to a point, like I said, some of us get to a point where we're like, no, you start to take things away instead of trying to add. Like some people come in and they're like, how do you fix it? And they try to add things. But, the others, we come and we remove things. I'm like, well, that's not me. That's not me. That's not me. That's not me.
Yeah.
And all that you're left with is, who you really are.
Yeah. When you said a moment ago, it jumped out at me that you didn't have the pride at that moment to stand in who you really are. Unpack that for me. You didn't have the pride. What's that mean?
For me, like when I started rapping, I was rapping about nonsense, just trying to like impress people and trying to be like my favorites. And I wasn't sharing my real life stories and what was true to me and genuine to me and my emotions and my experiences. I was like hiding behind a mask. I even went by a different name at one point, you know, because it was like, you know, as a rapper, you make an alias. But when I finally decided to like, I'm going to be LaRussell, and I'm going to make music that's reflective of what LaRussell feels and what LaRussell experiences. That was a breakthrough moment for me.
Yep. Use the word pride. Let me offer another word for your consideration, courage.
Courage.
You didn't have the pride to do it at that point, but it takes courage now. It takes courage to be transparent. Tell me about that part of your journey, finding the courage to be LaRussell.
Man, I was like, it's like that moment for me was like banging on a door, and then it finally like opening, and it was like, oh, you didn't need to do all that. It was unlocked. It
was unlocked
all you
all the
had
time.
to do was open it and walk through it. You know, that's what that moment was for me. Like I was It took a lot. It took a lot, and I had a lot of transformative journeys on the way there. I ended up taking medicinal mushrooms at one point, and it really, really unlocked just my perspective and how I speak and everything. It just I just had like a wow experience, and during that time, my life was changing too. I started doing shows and started getting a little bit more known, and man, yeah, that journey of finding yourself, it's intense.
Yeah.
And I'm still going through it today. Like, you know, every day I'm growing, and every year my life is changing dramatically from the year prior, and it's a lot.
Yeah. So are you telling me that my hip hop career hasn't jumped off yet because I ain't done enough mushrooms?
Nah. You probably just not nice.
Hey, you ain't got to say that, LaRussell. You ain't got to say that now. Come on. No, I'm not nice, but I'm willing to admit that. I know my lane, and it's not on the stage. It's in this chair right here. I can do this, but I can't do what you can do. You said a moment ago that there was a point in time where you were trying to impress your friends and you were rapping about nonsense. I'm not so much interested in that part. I am interested in the journey. That word keeps coming up. From rapping about nonsense to the stuff that you do now, which leads me to ask, how would you define and describe what you do, in fact, rap about now, since you were so clear that the other stuff prior to was nonsense?
Life rap.
Yeah.
That's what I like to call it, life hymns.
Yeah.
You know, and I still make a little bit of nonsense occasionally because I'm a human, and sometimes I'm just on nonsense, and that's how I feel. Yeah. But for the most part, it's life rap. I make music to get you through your journey. You know, I have a lot of people who come up to me and tell me my music changed their life. Like, I get pulled to the side, and there's like always a deep reverence and conversation been had by someone from the music they've experienced from me and what it got them through. And all artists don't get that because some of the music is on a surface level, but for me, I really make music that helps people get through their journey, because for me, that's what the music does. I'm just expressing me on my path.
I say this with humility, but I resonate with that. I've been at this for a long time. And if I had a dime for every photograph I've taken from a fan, every autograph I've signed, and the books I've written, if I had a dime for all that, I'd be independently wealthy just on that. But that has never mattered to me. You want to hit me in my heart? Tell me you appreciate the work that I do because it impacted you, because it changed your life. It opened up your eyes. It challenged you to re-examine your assumptions. It expanded your inventory of ideas. Any true artist appreciates that kind of love, that kind of acknowledgement, far more than the photos and the autographs, et cetera, et cetera.
And it's so crazy. Like these past few weeks, I've been in a interesting space emotionally where I was just dealing with a lot of waviness. I'm in the ocean, and you know, a steady ship never leaves the dock. You know, I'm in that water.
I got you.
And I recently had a supporter come all the way from New York to my house, and he was telling me how all of the information I share in my music completely changed his life. He went from living in his car to owning his own business and employing his friends using marketing tactics and promo tactics and game and information that I shared and through my music and through my interviews. And that was just like, sometimes as artists, we get caught up in the metrics and the album sales and the streams. And I don't have a platinum song, but I changed someone's life from being homeless to having an established business and being able to grow their family and employ their friends. There is no amount of album sales I could do to ever attribute to that one life, you know?
Yeah. For a lot of people, I'm glad you went there. I'm going to keep following you throughout this hour as I have already. For a lot of people, the goal is, as you just referenced, platinum sales. They want platinum. They want multi-platinum. That is the goal. If you get that, it's a beautiful thing. But if I'm hearing you correctly, that's not your end game.
No, you know, if it land in my lap, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
But I'm not in the pursuit of it.
What are you in pursuit of?
Freedom, liberation, peace, joy, liberation mostly.
What are those two particular words? The others I think I get. But you ask this question of 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different answers. For you, LaRussell, what does freedom mean? What does liberation mean? I could ask this other question, which I will, and get out of your way. You pause and you hit liberation a second time and made it clear that most liberation. So what's that mean for you? Unpack that for me.
For me, financially, emotionally, physically, being able to be free from the need of any other entity outside of myself. Freedom to utilize my time and my energy where I best see fit and not where I have to do it because life is this for me, you know. Liberation for me is being able to sleep well and peacefully because I did the right things on my journey and I could live with all of those things.
As I'm listening to you talk now, there are two things running through my head at the same time. Let me see if I can get both of them out here. Because I obviously am older than you, and I've navigated this journey in my own career, my broadcast career. There have been moments in my career when I have worked for the man, whether he was the white man or the black man, because it was a black man that owned BET when I worked there for years, hosted my show, and I worked for the man at PBS and NPR. So I've done this, ABC and CNN. I've done all this in my career, right? But I've also been on the independent track. I understand that as well. I was saying to you in the break that Prince, my dear friend who I miss every day, would always say to me, Tavis, content is king. Own your own content. I've done that. I own this building that you're sitting in right now.
Yeah.
We own and operate this station. My books, all that stuff. You know, all the shows on PBS for all those years. I own my library. So I know what it means to live a life of independence as well. To own and control your own destiny. That liberation, that freedom that you were talking about. I say all that to say that that's a beautiful thing, but it comes with a serious responsibility.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going. I'm making my way down to that independent conversation. There's a serious responsibility because if you don't work, you don't eat. And the folk around you, Splash ain't eating if somebody ain't selling some records, right? So there's a responsibility that comes along with that independence, which is not the same as signing a big deal with a record company and letting them sort of take care of you as you push out your gift. You've chosen to go the independent route. Talk to me about that.
It is very difficult to keep what you didn't earn.
Say it again. You dropping bars everywhere today. Say it one more again.
It is very difficult to keep what you didn't earn. You realize 90% of people who win the lotto end up broke because they didn't earn that money. I'd rather not eat if I ain't hunt. You know, I don't need nobody to put nothing on my plate. I want to go get it, and I want to eat it because I went out there and hunted it, and I did what I had to do. And independence gives me that. And, you know, some days it's rough because it's like we only caught a lizard today, and it's 10 of us. Yeah. I'm going to take this part, you're going to take this part, but some days I'm coming out the forest with a bear. You feel me? And I love that because Splash never not gonna eat because I didn't hunt. He not gonna eat because he didn't hunt. And that's what I'm teaching him and everyone around me. You feel me? We all gotta hunt as a pack. Yeah. Some days I might come back with nothing, so you gotta walk out that forest with something for us to eat today.
We should explain who Splash is. I'm always sensitive to the audience. This is radio, so there many people are watching us on YouTube right now, no doubt about it. But for those who aren't watching, they hear us keep making reference to Splash. Who is this Negro Splash y'all talking about?
Yeah, Splash is my little brother, and Splash documents my life. And
he's in the studio right now.
Every viral video you've seen of me in the past year and a half has been from him. And beyond all of that, he just supports any and everything that I do. Like, I know yesterday, just last night, it's 10 p.m. and I'm like, man, I want to go shoot. I want to go hoop. And Splash is like, I'm going to go with you. I'm finna go shoot. You know, like, we go on walks in the morning and just like, this is my little brother. And we've been able to build together, and I've been able to see him cultivate and build his own platforms through just all the game I've shared. He pick it up.
Yeah. For those watching on YouTube, Miles made Splash lean up in his chair, so he was hiding in the corner in the studio. But if you're watching on YouTube now, you can see Splash. But I'm just always sensitive to making references to people and things. People are like, what they talking about? Yeah. Because I know when I listen to radio or watch things, I want to be in the know. So now you know who Splash is, and you can see Splash's handsome visage on the YouTube screen right about now. Our guest in studio is LaRussell. If you didn't know, now you know. He's dropping bars, I said, everywhere. I want to probe this notion. I'm going to ask him to just set his humility aside for a second. I am always, and I don't want to say impressed. Impressed is the wrong word because that's too sophomoric for me. It's not deep enough. I'll think of the right word here. But I am moved when I hear people of a certain age come in with this kind of wisdom. This is wisdom speaking. This isn't just a rapper talking to you. Not just a guy dropping bars. This is wisdom speaking. I'm sitting there writing down stuff LaRussell was saying. I didn't know the conversation was going to be like that. I'm writing down stuff he's saying, and he ain't even rapping right now. He's just talking, right? So I'm always fascinated about where that sort of wisdom comes from in a body this young. We'll talk about that and a great deal more. Our guest, and I'm glad to have him in studio, LaRussell, right now on Tavis Smiley.
Yeah. These are tracks my mama used to listen to when I was a youngin'. We used to be in that Grand Prix with the windows down.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Biden, in a televised Oval Office speech, stated he led the country through one of its toughest times, keeping his commitment to all Americans. He warned that unchecked presidential power and extreme wealth threaten democracy. 2 American hostages are expected to be released soon in the first phase of the Israel-Hamas ceasefire, which will also free civilians, children, elderly, and wounded hostages. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau says Capital One has cheated customers out of more than $2 billion in interest. The agency announced a lawsuit Tuesday accusing Capital One of deceiving customers about their savings account interest rates. And the NCAA will start paying financial rewards to women's college basketball teams in March Madness, with funds starting at $15 million this spring and reaching $25 million by 2027-2028. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
New year, fresh start. Why not with better water? LifeSource Water gives you clean, filtered water from every tap with no salt and no frequent maintenance. Call 800-WATER-99 or visit lifesourcewater.com today. Warranty limitations apply.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers and Clippers won their home games last night. The Clippers beat Brooklyn by 59 points, the largest victory margin in franchise history. Brooklyn's 67 points is a season low for all NBA teams. Kawhi Leonard had 23 points. James Harden dropped 21 and had 11 assists. The Clippers are at Portland tonight. The Lakers snapped a 3-game losing streak with a 9-point win over Miami. Rui Hachimura led the Lakers with 23 points. LeBron and Anthony Davis had 22 each. The Lakers played Brooklyn Friday night at Crypto. Tiger Woods, who sponsors the Genesis Invitational Golf Tournament in Pacific Palisades, remain uncertain if the event will be played. The Genesis is scheduled for February 13th to the 16th at the Riviera Country Club. The course did not suffer any damage from the wildfires, although numerous homes nearby were destroyed. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 stands with you in tough times, connecting you with resources and what you need to know. Evacuation shelters are located in the Pasadena Civic Center, the Dream Center in LA, the Westwood Recreation Center, and many more. You can call 311 for details. Santa Anita Park in Arcadia is a pop-up mutual aid hub where you can pick up anything from clothing to food and hygiene supplies. If you're in Los Angeles County and in need of food, call Omni Ministries at 310-631-1557. Donations can be made to Zelle, Omni Ministries, Inc. at yahoo.com. Parking Lot I outside of Rose Bowl Stadium is a pop-up mutual aid hub where you can pick up everything from clothing to food to hygiene supplies for free. To volunteer or donate to help victims of the fire, contact the LA Emergency Network at enla.org. The Cochran Firm and Ivy McNeil, Wyatt Purcell and Diggs, Jasmine Canick, and others have launched a GoFundMe specifically targeting Altadena. Visit LA Fires. The impacted Black community urgently needs help on GoFundMe, and donate to help Black evacuees fighting for survival. Airbnb is offering free temporary housing to people displaced by the fires. Call 211 to sign up. The LA Chamber of Commerce is stepping up to help you sort out insurance claims and other paperwork. Reach them at 213-580-7500. South LA Cafe has free groceries, clothing, and water available at 1700 Browning Boulevard in LA. Track their giveaways or volunteer through their Instagram at South LA Cafe. U-Haul is donating short-term storage free of charge for 30 days to evacuees. Shelter for small or large animals can be accessed by calling 211. A Black-led coalition of community organizations is offering support and resources in the Altadena area at the Flint Ridge Center at 236 West Mountain Street in Pasadena. For comprehensive lists of resources for housing, food, shelter, and more, visit Mutual Aid LA Network on Instagram. Praying for LA and standing with you. KBLA Talk 1580.
Sometimes he fails at fitting in, but we're okay with that. You're inside the Tavis Smiley Show.
I had to execute the plan, a life you can never understand. Since way back when mama would hold my hand, crossing the half while I grew into a man. Broke a leg, relearn how to stand. Make this for my nigga on the block. This is a result when you give it all you got. Rick Fox always knew I had a shot. Big brand boys coming in hot, steaming.
Nice shout out for Rick Fox. I ain't mad at Rick.
Come on, man.
I saw Rick not too long ago, as a matter of fact. I ain't mad at the Rick Fox shout out. For those watching on YouTube, you saw this, but I always love it. It does something to me when music comes on, and when the artist who did the music is in studio, and they feel it when they hear it.
Come on.
So you feel your own stuff.
Of course. Of course. I made it for me.
But you'd be amazed at the number of people I've talked to in the course of my career. Their stuff comes on, they just sit there. I'm over here bobbing and weaving in my own seat, right? And they just kind of sit there. So I
made them for me.
Yeah. I know you mean that, but unpack that for me. There's something behind that. When you can say publicly and proudly and unapologetically that you made the stuff for yourself.
Man, that is like something I refuse to give away. I do not make songs for anyone outside of myself. Like when I get in to make music, I'm trying to make songs that I enjoy, that I used to hear when I was a kid, that made me smile and feel good or express what I need to release. I don't make it with no one else's opinion or expectation in mind. I really make the songs I want to make for me.
Yeah. There are two ways to read that, at least two ways. One is that when you make music for yourself and you step out the studio and they press it and push it out for the public, if the public embraces that, I could see how that could lead you to be a little egomaniacal. That the stuff you made for yourself, everybody else is digging, so now your ego's out of control and you become a narcissist. The other way to read that is you make stuff for yourself, you push it out, everybody else loves it and embraces it, which is your story, and that leads, I think, to a greater sense of humility. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I look at it as like my neighbor down the street from my mom has an orange tree. And he planted that orange tree because he like oranges. But when we see him in season, we say, hey, can we get some oranges? And we like them too. Yeah. That was for him, but we just happen to enjoy him too. So it's just it's a win-win, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think he has an ego like, yeah, I got the best oranges ever. He's just like, man, I'm glad y'all like them.
I can see that. I can see that. Tell me where you think, and I've asked this question of others, and for me, this is one of the questions that to your point, I'm asking this for me. I am always fascinated to look back years later at various artists who've come through and just see the answer to this question. So it is January, what's today, the 16th? January 16th? Yeah, yesterday was Dr. King's actual birthday, the 15th. So we celebrated Dr. King yesterday, as we will again on Monday on the holiday. Never mind that Donald Trump's being inaugurated. I'm going to navigate my way through that. But today's January 16th, 2025, so I'll have this on tape for years to come. Where do you think your career is at this point? As you sit in this studio right now, how would you define where you think you are on the journey, there's that word again, the journey of your career?
I feel like the point I'm in right now is I built a rocket ship, and I've just been obtaining fuel. And everyone's like, man, that's a rocket. And we know what rockets do. They launch. And right now I've just been building fuel. And at some point, this rocket's gone.
so you ain't even took off yet.
It ain't even took off yet.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part. Like I'm only getting better at everything. At like being a human, but being an artist and being a homie, and just I'm talking, speaking, writing, reading. I'm getting better at everything, and I ain't even launched a rocket yet. People are just impressed that it's a rocket there.
So the obvious question is, how do you know? What's your assessment for how you're getting better? And let me just pause for a second, because these conversations are for me always fascinating to be a part of, because I know that when I'm talking to you, I'm really talking to tons of other folks across the country who are listening right now. So we're talking about your life, but again, this conversation is so organic and so dynamic that others will situate themselves in it. I say all the time that the best art, and you're an example of this, the best art is art that you push out that other folks can situate their humanity inside of. You make it for yourself, but the goal is to make sure that you're tapping into the humanity of everybody else and that they can situate their humanity inside the work that you do. So one of the things that we have to assess if we're trying to give our best is, am I getting better at this every day? You know, do I see myself improving? And so you've said 2 or 3 times now by my count that you know you're getting better as a human, as an artist, et cetera, and at some point, this rocket ship, Stevie Wonder, is going to launch at some point. So what's your assessment of how you know that you're getting better at these things?
The amount of effort it takes to execute it. Effortlessness comes from executing the maximum amount of effort.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people say, man, he makes it look effortless, it's because I've put in more effort into this
to
than
make
anyone else
to make
you
it
know.
look effortless. Yeah,
and that's when I know I'm getting better because everything gets easier for me. Like every song that he's played during this interview, I made in 10 minutes or less. Every single one, the words, everything rained down on me. Done. I performed these songs in one take. The song you hear is the first time I ever even recorded that song. And it's on the radio now.
Yeah.
You know, like beyond that, just like speaking and poise, just everything has gotten easier for me. But it hasn't gotten easier. I've just worked harder and I've gotten better. So it's like the task is the same as it's always been. Yeah. The difference is I'm better now.
Yeah, I can't even keep up with this Negro. I can't even keep
up. Hey, you hear me? Come on, I'm gonna drop them jewels.
I see you dropping them, man. I can't even keep up.
Get a bag.
Get a bag. I'm dropping. That's a powerful frame. And you're right, but I never thought about it in those terms. That when people say it looks effortless, it does look effortless because I put so much effort into it. That's why it appears that way to you.
I shot that shot 10,000 times.
Yeah.
That's why it looks like I do it so easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know that you can. Well, I mean, I'm about to say I'm not sure you can answer this question. I forgot for a second. I was talking to LaRussell. I can't imagine there's anything I could ask you that you ain't got a response to. So let me just ask it. What does it feel like? I've asked this question of others in different spaces. But when you say that the stuff we've been hearing, you did like in one take, it just comes to you and you push it out. What does that feel like when you are? This is my word. You take it anywhere you want to take it. But when you're a vessel, and it's being poured into you from somewhere by somebody, by some higher power, it's being poured into you, and all you do is become, again, the container that pushes it out. But what's that feel like when it just comes to you so easily? There are folk who writing lyrics, walking around with and I ain't mad at everybody got their own process. I ain't mad at nobody. They walking around writing lyrics and with notebooks and scratching this out and doing this and trying this. I had somebody on. I had somebody on here not long ago. Miles, the comedian that Dave Chappelle produced their special. He made him do it 4 or 5 times. Dave's produced a number of specials for Netflix. That's who it was, Darnell Rollins.
Yep.
Darnell was on this program. And Darnell, I love Darnell because he was so open like you, LaRussell, open and transparent. Darnell said, Tavis, that Negro made me shoot that special 5 times. And every time I did, I thought I killed it.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, I was starting to get in my feelings about why Mr. Executive Producer Dave Chappelle was making me do this a second, third, fourth, and Dave kept saying, it's not you. One time he didn't like the venue. One time he didn't like the audience. One time he didn't like the lighting. But Dave had his own reasons for why they shot that special for Donnell 3, 4, 5 times. When Netflix put it out, it killed. Everybody's got their own process. But here you come now telling me it just comes one time, bam, you push it out and there it is. What's that feel like?
Man, it feels like being a vessel.
Yeah.
You know, like it. I always say I don't write the songs. The songs write themselves. Like sometimes I'll hear a record I made years later and I can't believe I said some of the stuff I said or shared some of the stuff I shared, but I just like it comes through me. It pours out of me. Like just I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just a messenger for the universe and I'm spreading a message that certain people need me to say to receive. I noticed that I have the ability to turn apples to applesauce.
Yeah.
Everybody can't eat apples. Some people ain't got teeth, and then babies can't eat apples. Older people can't eat apples sometimes, but everybody could eat applesauce.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned how to do. I take it's like some of the things we discussed today. Some people have very, very deep conversations trying to explain what I just said using Kobe and Michael Jordan.
No. Somebody famously asked years ago, why ask why? And I've learned in my life that sometimes ain't no sense in asking why. You just give thanks and are grateful that it's coming through you and that you are the vessel. And so just stop asking why. Just accept it, receive it, push it out. Our guest is LaRussell. You're listening to him right now, and I'm glad about it on Tavis Smiley.
They from here, but they ain't in a town like this. Flow water, you might around and drown like this. I'm grinding, slapping, 1.5 off rapping. Link up, blapping. The bay up now, but it's happening. Hey, smiling, gigging. Feeling like Tyson with the pitch.
From California to the Carolinas, everybody's listening to Tavis. More when we come forward.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Welcome to Staples.
I am so pumped. My business is going to kill it this year.
Awesome. How can I help?
First, a new computer.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you save big on tech.
And new posters.
Save on custom printing, too.
And,
a new chair?
A chair? Who has time to sit?
Maybe all your new clients?
Now you're talking.
With Staples Home and Office Hot Deals, you'll find huge savings on custom prints, storage, chairs, and tech. And now save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
He's a paradigm pioneer and the top-rated African-American talk show host in the nation, according to Talkers Magazine. You're tapped in with Tavis Smiley right now.
I get so caught up in my head. But you, darling, I took the hard way instead. For you, darling, I get so caught up in my mind. I think about you all the time.
His name is LaRussell, and if you didn't know, now you know. And he's in a good space, And speaking of spaces, he has a residency right now at Vallejo's Empress Theater. It started on January the 5th. It runs through March, but he's a residency at Vallejo's Empress Theater. You still in Vallejo?
Yeah, I'm home.
Yeah.
Come on.
You ain't leaving?
No, I have no intention.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier in this conversation about what you didn't see, what you did not see when you were growing up. And I'm just thinking about all the kids who now see in you what you didn't see in somebody else while they're growing up in Vallejo.
Man, beyond the kids, the adults.
Yeah.
I have 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds come up to me and who's like, thank you. You know, they get to witness this happen in front of them. Yeah. I had a older white lady. We were out eating breakfast, and she walks past with her husband, and she tells her husband, she says, this kid is going to change our city. And I'm just like, wow. You know, like we've never got this experience at all.
That's a beautiful thing, but that's also a lot of pressure, LaRussell.
It could be.
Change the city, man. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But you ain't scared?
Nah.
Yeah. Turn it up, Miles. Our remaining moments with LaRussell when we come back. Come forward on Tavis Smiley.
And a great smile. Huh? I get so caught up in my head. Okay, ooh. She got the moves. Waist and face too. Ooh, she cute. I get so caught up in my head. For you, darling, I took the heart away instead.
This is getting good. Yeah, man. Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MOTOR for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MOTOR for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MOTOR.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Freedom is an endless meeting. So let's get back to it with Tavis Smiley.
I was just scrolling through a number of the comments, and I wish I had time to get to them. I see all your comments. I see you in the YouTube. I see you everywhere on our socials. So many comments just coming through about not just this conversation, but more importantly about his gift, LaRussell, and what he's doing with it. And I'm seeing posts from people who are bragging about the fact that they in their 50s and they in their 60s, and that they're fans of yours. Everybody can't do that, man. That, as we said in the black church, that ain't everybody's testimony. Everybody can't get that testimony.
Come on.
Yeah. How does that part feel?
Man, that feels magnificent, because I have people come to shows multi-generational.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, I came with my daughter and my mother and our grandmother.
Yeah.
And that's so special to me, because I never went to a show with like my pops or anything like that. So to see a 5-year-old and a 65-year-old sharing the same experience and same joy and love for similar music, that's tough.
Yeah.
You don't listen to what your nephews
That's
and
right.
generally, but with a LaRussell, like, man, the families, like the lineage shares it. And to me, I'm grateful, because a 5-year-old has so much life left, and she gonna spend her life with LaRussell.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this since you said it. What happens when you collect enough fuel to get this puppy off the ground? When this thing does launch, like, and the rocket boosters fall off, and you in the stratosphere, then what? He grins. He smiles.
What do you say? One large step for man.
Yeah.
One giant step for mankind.
No, he didn't. He went all the way there. He went. I did not see that coming. I'm not even gonna lie.
No,
I did not see that coming.
I just feel like, man, when we have someone at the top who's like human in this regard and speaks this way and communicates to us in the fashion that I do, I really think it could change a lot.
Yeah.
That's why we love Tupac so much, because he'll go in an interview and say what we all feeling and what we all believe is true, but no one else will say it. They'll tell you about their cars and their money and their houses, but they won't tell you about their life and emotionally and everything that comes with it. And just beyond that, the joy. You know, I bring joy back to hip hop. It's not too much rap you could turn on right now that just make you like, man, thank you. You know, like that feeling gone. I'm bringing it back. We got kids dancing in the videos and people skating and breakdancing. And, man, this hip-hop, I'm preserving the culture that I love, that I grew up on. And I empower black people and humans in general. Like, you know, you walk into my show, it look like a NATO meeting. You know, it's some everybody from everywhere in there. And I just feel like we need that. Like, we've been resonating as a culture at a frequency that's been a little low. We no longer have cultural equity in anything. We don't have 106 in Park. We ain't got TRL. We don't got Rap City The Basement no more. We don't got nothing showing us on TV in our light. Nothing. But we got us fighting on TV and arguing and twerking and everything. But we don't have nothing showing us in our light no more. We don't have no Soul Train, you know? So no Def Comedy Jam, no none of that. What happened? And I just feel like with me at the top, we're going to get a lot back.
He is living a joyful life. And that was a mic drop moment, so we done.
Come on.
He wrote on like Wu-Tang Clan. His whole crew is up in here. I ain't mad at him, and I'm glad you all showed up today. LaRussell, let me just say, I have enjoyed this in ways I can't even describe. And it was I knew we'd have a good time. But you brought joy to this studio and wisdom to this conversation. I am grateful for that. Again, it is your first time, not your last time. But until the next time, I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Come on, man.
Thank you, sir. That's LaRussell on Tavis Smiley. Tomorrow's Friday, so tomorrow the best of Tavis Smiley. Until then, thanks for tuning in. And as always, keep the faith.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Biden, in a televised Oval Office speech, stated he led the country through